Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are having another research video. Since I'm planning to move to Finland, I decided to find out what Finns actually think about Russians, how they treat them there, what's the impression of Russians, and all that stuff. I've gathered this valuable information from several sites, mostly Reddit and Quora, and I would like to introduce you to these opinions, and I really want to know what you think about that, what are your opinions, and whether they match these things I found on the internet or not. So let's start. So the first person says that he's from Generation Z. I believe that's the next generation after mine. Yes, I'm a millennial, so Generation Y, yeah, this person is younger than me. So, he says that he noticed an increase in hostility towards Russia. Really? I really believe that the younger people are, the more open they are, and their opinions change towards more friendly ones. Alright. He also says that more and more people of his generation use this derogatory word Rusa towards Russians. Well, okay, you know, I'm not that person who cares about opinions of others, and I'm not that easily offended, so is it really that bad of a word? Like, I honestly don't care. He also says that many Finns of his age group think that they have to serve military due to the possible threat of Russia. That's kind of stupid to think. I mean, not that I'm calling that person stupid, but you know, military is a common thing in every country, and I do have very strong opinions about that because I'm raised in the military family, so I hate it a lot. Not my family, but the military stuff, because it's such a shithole, seriously. And I hate military in any country, because I don't understand why people created this stuff, why we can't live in peace, why people are taught to fight in a war. Okay, that's just my opinions, I can rant about it forever, but I don't think that people are in military because of the threat from Russia. It's just a common thing to have, like to know how to fight any threat. So yeah, that's kind of weird opinion. He also says that Generation Y, my generation, and Generation X do not really have many negative thoughts about Russia. The only like stereotypes are that Russians are connected with violence, authoritarianism, that's a difficult word to pronounce, and that they are alcoholics. Yes, for the second one, maybe for the first one, and the third one, you know, French drink more. But yeah, it's kind of common stereotype about Russia. As a conclusion, he says that all of these negative assumptions are mostly about the Russian government, and well, he's not the only one if we look at all these opinions, and well, he's not the only one if we also consider what Russians think about that, but we are not into this topic. But he says that in general Finns don't see Russians as bad people. That's good. That's a good start. Another person again says that Russia is considered a possible threat. Alright, we already heard about that. And he also says that, for example, younger people think that Russians are arrogant and ill-mannered. And he explains this by saying that tons of Russians who invade Finland during holiday seasons are rather wealthy and very rich compared to a common Finn. And he also says when you have seemingly all money in the world, you're sure to stir some feelings of jealousness. That is so not true. You know, when you have all the money in the world, you usually go to, what, Switzerland, Spain, the south of France. At least that's what I know about wealthy people in my country. But those who go to Finland are usually middle class. And, you know, he says that they invade Finland during holiday seasons. And, you know, people usually save money for their holidays. So that's totally not true. That's all middle class who come to Finland. And I don't think that those people are really ill-mannered. I've seen a lot of ill-mannered Russians in Finland as tourists, but they mostly come on a ferry. You know, maybe it's a cheaper version. But yeah, there are lots of Russians who are ill-mannered. I hate that. But mostly those who go on holiday are okay. Another stereotype that he mentions is that all Russians are somehow connected to the criminal world. Well, sometimes I wish I was somehow connected to this because I want to threat my neighbors from upstairs. But you know, all Russians are connected to that. Seriously, we are not in the 90s anymore, and I highly doubt that in the 90s all Russians were connected to that. Weird stereotype, seriously weird. Another person who has actually had some experience with the Russian language and culture says, well, first of all, he talks about politics, like the same things we heard before, but he also says that most of the Russians are very cynical. True, yeah, that's true. And a good phrase is, if you don't expect anything good from them, you might one day be very positively surprised. Yes, we can say it about Russians, but I like this phrase about anyone. Like, really, don't expect a lot of things from people and you will be surprised. Very wise. The next opinion is also about being a threat, like everyone says about this. Well, I can see why. That's logical. But this person also says that Russia seems exotic with its, again this word, authoritarian government. True. Powerful mafia, no experience with that. Corrupted police, I guess kinda true. And strong military, well, yeah, probably. But as for the mentality, he says that we have fatalist mentality. Yeah, you know, and it's very well shown in the classical Russian literature. Yeah, I guess we are fatalists. Like, you know, Lermontov even has one chapter in his The Hero of Our Time that's called Fatalist. So probably, yeah, that's true. Reddit has a kind of big thread on this topic, and well, we are starting with a very good point here. The person says that in Russia there is a lot of wealth, cultural depth and potential, but we need some sort of deep change with the government and like the people who are at the wheel, that we haven't really had a good leader since the beginning of times. I don't think that's true for maybe all the times, because another person is quite correct about Alexander II being good to the Russian people. But, well, in general, yeah, that's true, and it affected mentality a lot, and we're going to talk later on about that. In general, I like this idea that people can separate the government, how it affects people, and the people in general. It's really good, and I like that like sensible people see the difference. Another person talks about the culture, and he or she, I don't understand, says that they love the food, pickles in particular. But well, I talked about pickles in the previous video. Like, Finland has this wonderful kurkku salati. But don't you guys have all the other pickled stuff, like tomatoes? What else? Mushrooms? I don't really eat a lot of pickles. Well, I like cucumbers and mushrooms, that's all I eat. Oh no, my mom makes a delicious pickled cauliflower. That's a good thing to eat, seriously. But as for other pickles, I heard that Russians make pickled watermelon. And I can't imagine that. I've never tasted that, and it sounds horrible. This person also says that openness and hospitality in Russia, especially rural Russia, just warms his heart. This is so cute. I do think that people are friendlier in rural Russia and they have more nice traditions. Yeah, in general, like, the city spoils a person, I guess. Yeah, that's kind of true, and this is very nice. As for the negative sides, he says about macho culture in young men, and he says it's a sign of insecurity. Macho culture. well, you know, equality is not that developed in Russia, and our men still think that they should be this macho man, that they should provide for everything. Well, on one hand, it's kind of nice, but when it's exaggerated, it becomes very oppressive, and that's not a thing that many of our Russian women can tolerate. Especially like those of my generation and younger. Maybe the older ones are used to that, who knows? Well, I guess this macho culture should be changed in a way, and people should become more open to other types of behavior, but still being gentlemen. I like when men are gentlemen. Next up, we have the same old thought that this person views Russia as one of the biggest dangers to world stability, but he says that, he or she, again, I don't know, says that Russian people are just like any people in the world. Good that people can distinguish these two things, like Russia as a governmental structure and Russia as people. So this person says that Russians want to live in peace, like to have relative prosperity with loving friends and family. You know, everyone wants that, and well, yeah, we're not kind of monsters or something like that. Everyone wants a good life. That's why I want to immigrate to Finland. And this person also has a very good point about the Russian propaganda, that it's very effective. That is so true, especially it affects the older generation, because people watch TV, they believe what is said there, and they continue this propaganda on other people, and this is so stupid. You know, when I have these family reunions and they start talking about that, I can't tolerate that, and I tell everything what I think about that, and they stop. Maybe they're scared of me. This makes me furious. People should have their own opinions, but not what TV tells them and what national propaganda wants them to think and how it wants them to behave. It should be stopped. Next person also looks at this country with great suspicion, but as for the Russian people, this person doesn't condemn a nationality as a whole. Thank you. The only problem that this person mentions is that Russians seem to have hard time assimilating due to large numbers of services in their language. I think that he means Russians who live in Finland. I'm not sure about that, but yeah, that's true. Russians, like most of the Russians, are not those people who would easily learn a foreign language and who are willing to learn a foreign language. You know, I can't even say that this has been changing, because I'm a tutor, as you know, and I actually see what's going on at schools. Children are not that highly motivated to learn a foreign language, and it's a disaster with the education, with the teachers, and with the exam system. Also, I can rant about it forever, but yeah, this thing is not changing, unfortunately. And I like the phrase, "Ain't got nothing against Russians though, and the girls are super pretty." This is kind of cute. Another person says that Russian people are great and seem to be supernaturally good at technology and mathematics. Well, of course we are not Chinese to be supernaturally good at this, but yeah, I actually noticed that, for example, in my generation there are lots of people who choose their career as a programmist or just a person who is connected to technology in some way, and usually these people consider working abroad, actually, and yeah, there are lots of job offers for those people. I'm not one of them, unfortunately. Well, I was maybe kind of stupid when I chose my education, but well, maybe I'm just not very inclined to do that, and my destiny is another thing. But well, yeah, we have lots of people, especially of my generation, who are very good with technology and programming and all that. Another person says that I'm kind of suspicious of anyone speaking Russian. The only time I've ever been violently robbed was by a bunch of teenagers speaking what sounded to me like Russian. Well, it's kind of weird prejudice, but maybe this is the reason why I'm also kind of suspicious of Russians, because I was once robbed by a person, and obviously he was Russian. I don't know, maybe there is some sense in this, but not much. I'm glad that many people really feel sorry for us, and they understand that we've been under pressure for a really long time. Another person says that we've been under an unbroken chain of dictatorships at least since 1547. Yeah, and he also says that he heard the phrase, "The choice in Russia isn't between dictatorship and democracy, it's between dictatorship and complete chaos." Yeah, that's so true. We're so used to being oppressed, it affected the mentality, and I'm not sure that anything is gonna change in the future, because it has been like this for ages. And I actually want to do a video about this oppressed mentality in the future. The next person says, I love Russian people, their odd habits and hospitality and their generosity, and this person wishes Finnish culture would be more like that. Yeah, I think that we are more open than Finns, but you know, people say that if you get closer to a Finn, you will get a very good friend, a very hospitable friend and all that. And I'm sure that also can be applied to Russian, because we are also kind of tough on the outside. On the other hand, this person says that Russia seems to have a low national self-esteem. Yes, yes, yes! That's about oppressed mentality once again. We have very low self-esteem, national self-esteem. It has also been talked a lot in the Russian literature. And yeah, that's the mentality of suffering. Well, if we want to sum up all the opinions, I guess this post would be very good to describe all that stated above. I have nothing against Russians. Some are nice and some are not nice, just like Finns. But Russia has been acting a bit threateningly lately. Yes, I guess it really sums it up. I'm glad that people separate the government and its actions, because it really looks like a threat sometimes. People are different. I also don't like many Russians, how they behave. But well, maybe I'm just tired of life or living in a big city. Who knows the reasons behind that. I really want to know if you agree with all that stated in this video. What are your opinions on Russians? Do you hate us? Do you love us? What do you love and hate about us? Tell me all this in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.